Ashur, the great Lord, the King of all the great gods. Anu, King of the spirits of heaven and the spirits of the earth, the God. Lord of the world, Bel the supreme, Father of the gods, the Creator. Hia, King of the deep, determiner of destinies, the King of crowns, drinking in brilliance. Rimmon, the crown hero, Lord of canals, the sun god, the judge of heaven and earth, the urger on of all. Merodach, Prince of the gods, Lord of battles. Adar the terrible, Lord of the spirits of heaven and the spirits of earth, the exceeding strong God. Nergal, the powerful God, King of the battle. Nebo, the bearer of the high scepter, the God, the Father above. Beltis, the wife of Bel, Mother of the great gods. Ishtar, sovereign of heaven and earth, who the face of hero is perfectest, the great gods, determining destinies, making great my kingdom. I am Shalmaneser, king of the multitudes of men, prince and hero of Ashur, the strong king, king of all the four zones of the sun, and of multitudes of men, the marcher over the whole world, son of Ashur-Nasir-Pal, the supreme hero, who his heroism over the gods has made good, and has caused all the world to kiss his feet. The noble offspring of Tiglath-Adar, who has laid his yoke upon all lands hostile to him, and has swept them like a whirlwind. At the beginning of my reign, when on the throne of royalty mightily I had seated myself, the chariots of my host I collected. Into the lowlands of the country of Semesi I descended. The city of Aridu, the strong city of Nini I took. In my first year, the Euphrates in its flood I crossed. To the sea of the setting sun I went. My weapon on the sea I rested. Victims for my gods I took. To Mount Amanus I went up. Logs of cedar wood and pine wood I cut. To the country of Lalar I descended. An image of my royalty in the midst of it I erected. In my second year, to the city of Til-Barsif I approached. The cities of Akuni, the son of Adin, I captured. In his city I shut him up. The Euphrates in its flood I crossed. The city of Dabigo, a choice city of the Hittites, together with the cities which were dependent upon it, I captured. In my third year, Akuni, the son of Adin, from the face of my mighty weapons fled. And the city of Til-Barsif, his royal city, he fortified. The Euphrates I crossed. The city unto Assyria I restored. I took it. The town which is on the further side of the Euphrates, which is up on the river Saguri, which the kings of the Hittites call the city of Petru. For myself I took, at my return into the lowlands of the country of Alsi, I descended. The country of Alsi I conquered. The countries of Dayini and Elam, and the city of Arsaskunu, the royal city of Arami, of the country of the Armenians, the country of Gozan, and the country of Kupushkia. During the eponymy of Dayyan-Ashur, from the city of Nineveh I departed. the Euphrates. In its upper part I crossed. After Akuni, the son of Adin, I went. The heights on the banks of the Euphrates as his stronghold he made. The mountains I attacked, I captured. Akuni, with his gods, his chariots, his horses, his sons, and his daughters, I carried away. To my city, Ashur, I brought them. In that same year, the country of Kular I crossed. To the country of Samua, of Bit-Ani, I went down. The cities of Nigdiara, of the city of the Edians and Nigdima, I captured. In my 5th year, to the country of Kasyari I ascended. The strongholds I captured. Elkiti of the Sirunians in his city I shut up. His tribute, to a large amount, I received. In my 6th year, to the cities on the banks of the river Baliki I approached. Giamu, their governor, I smote. To the city of Tel Abil Aki I descended. The Euphrates in its upper part I crossed. The tribute of the kings of the Hittites, all of them I received. In those days, Rimmon Idri of Damascus, Irkulina of Hamath, and the kings of the Hittites and of the seacoast, to the forces of each other trusted, to make war and battle against me they came. By the command of Ashur, the great Lord, my Lord, with them I fought. A destruction of them I made. Their chariots, their war carriages, their war material I took from them. 20,500 of their fighting men with arrows I slew. In my 7th year, to the cities of Kabini, of the city of Tel Abni I went. The city of Tel Abni, his stronghold, together with the cities which were dependent on it, I captured. To the head of the river, the springs of the very Tigris, the place where the waters rise, I went. The weapons of Ashur in the midst of it I rested. Sacrifices for my gods I took. Feasts and rejoicing I made. An image of my royalty of large size I constructed. The laws of Ashur my lord, the records of my victories, whatsoever in the world I had done, in the midst of it I wrote. In the middle of the country I set it up. In my 8th year, Merodach Shahmshi-Adad, king of Gandunias, did Merodach Bila-Usate, his foster brother, against him rebel. Strongly had he fortified the land to exact punishment. Against Merodach Shahmshi-Adad I went. The cities of the waters of the Durnat I took. In my 9th campaign, a 2nd time to the land of Akkad I went. The city of Gananate I besieged. Merodach Bila-Usate, exceeding fear of Ashur and Merodach, overwhelmed, and to save his life to the mountains he ascended. After him I rode. Merodach Bila-Usate and the officers of the rebels who were with him, with arrows I slew them all. To the great fortresses I went. Sacrifices in Babylon, Borsippa and Kuta I made. Thanksgivings to the great gods I offered up. To the country of Kaldu I descended, their cities I captured. The tribute of the kings of the country of Kaldu I received. The greatness of my arms as far as the sea overwhelmed. In my 10th year, for the 8th time the Euphrates I crossed. The cities of Sangara, of the city of the Karkashemians I captured. To the cities of Arami I approached. Arne, his royal city, with 100 of his other towns I captured. In my 11th year, for the 9th time the Euphrates I crossed. Cities to a countless number I captured. To the cities of the Hittites, of the lands of the Hamathites I went down. 89 cities I took. Rimmon Idri of Damascus, and 12 of the kings of the Hittites with one another's forces strengthened themselves. A destruction of them I made in my 12th campaign. For the 10th time the Euphrates I crossed. To the land of Pagar Kubuna I went. Their spoils I carried away. In my 13th year, to the country of Yaeti I ascended. Their spoils I carried away. In my 14th year, the country I assembled, the Euphrates I crossed. 12 kings against me had come. I fought, a destruction of them I made. In my 15th year, among the sources of the Tigris and the Euphrates I went. An image of my majesty in their hollows I erected. In my 16th year, the waters of the Zab I crossed. To the county of Zimri I went. Merudak Mudamik, king of the land of Simru, to save his life the mountains he ascended, his treasures, his army and his gods to Assyria. I brought Jansu, son of Kanban, to the kingdom over them I raised. In my 17th year, the Euphrates I crossed. To the lands of Amanus I descended. Logs of cedar I cut. In my 18th year, for the 16th time the Euphrates I crossed. Hazael of Damascus to battle came. 1,221 of his chariots, 470 of his war carriages with his camp, I took from him in my 19th campaign. For the 18th time the Euphrates I crossed. To the land of Amanus I descended. Logs of cedars I cut. In my 20th year, for the 20th time the Euphrates I crossed. To the land of Kahue I went down. Their cities I captured. Their spoils I carried off. In my 21st campaign, for the 21st time the Euphrates I crossed. To the cities of Hazael of Damascus I went. 4 of his fortresses I took. The tribute of the Tyrians, the Sidonians and the Gebalites I received. In my 22nd campaign, for the 22nd time the Euphrates I crossed. To the country of Tabalu I went down. In those days, as regards the 24 kings of the country of Tabalu, their wealth I received. To conquer the mines of silver, of salt and of stone, for sculpture I went. In my 23rd year, the Euphrates I crossed. The city of Uetas, his strong city, which belonged to Lala of the land of the Melidians, I captured. the kings of the country of Tabalu had set out, their tribute I received. In my 24th year, the lower Sab I crossed, the land of Kalimur I passed through, to the land of Simru I went down. Yansu, king of Simri, from the face of my mighty weapons fled, and to save his life ascended the mountains. The cities of Sikishkak, Bitamul, Bitsak and Bitsedi, his strong cities, I captured. His fighting men, I slew. His spoil, I carried away. The cities I threw down, dug up, and with fire burned. The rest of them to the mountains ascended. The peaks of the mountains I attacked, and I captured. Their fighting men I slew. Their spoil and their goods I caused to be brought down. From the country of Simru I departed. The tribute of 27 kings of the country of Parsua I received. From the country of Parsua I departed. To the strongholds of the country of Amadai and the countries Arasias and Karkar I went down. The cities of Suasinda, Kasanabi, Ermul and Sin Ablila, with the cities which were dependent on them, I captured. Their fighting men I slew. Their spoil I carried away. The cities I threw down, dug up and burned with fire. An image of my majesty in the country of Karkar I set up. Yamsu, son of Kaban, with his abundant treasures, his gods, his sons, his daughters, his soldiers, in large numbers I carried off. To Assyria I brought them. In my 25th campaign, the Euphrates at its flood I crossed. The tribute of the kings of the Hittites, all of them I received. The country of Amanus I traversed. To the cities of Kati, of the country of the Kahuians, I descended. The city of Timur, his strong city, I besieged and I captured. Their fighting men I slew, its spoil I carried away. The cities, to a countless number I threw down, dug up and burned with fire. On my return, the city of Muru, the strong city of Arami, the son of Agusi, a possession for myself I took. Its entrance space I marked out. A palace, the seat of my majesty, in the middle of it I founded. In my 26th year, for the 7th time, the country of the Amunas I traversed. For the 4th time, to the cities of Kari, of the country of the Kahuians I went. The city of Tanakum, the strong city of Tulsa I approached. Exceeding fear of Ashur my lord overwhelmed him, and when he had come out, my feet he took. His hostages I took, silver, gold, iron, oxen and sheep, as his tribute I received. From the city of Tanasun I departed. To the country of Lamina I went. The men collected themselves. An inaccessible mountain they occupied. The peak of the mountain I assailed. I took their fighting men. I slew their spoil, their oxen, their sheep. From the midst of the mountain I brought down. The cities I threw down, dug up, and burned with fire. To the city of Kassi I went. My feet they took. Silver and gold their tribute I received. Siri, the brother of Kati, to the sovereignty over them I set. On my return to the country of Amanus I descended. Beams of cedar I cut, I removed. To my city of Ashur I brought. In my 27th year, the chariots of my army I mustered. Dayyan-Ashur, the Tartan, the commander of the wide-spreading army, at the head of my army, to the country of Armenia I urged. I sent. To Bitsamani he descended. Into the low ground, to the city of Amas he went down. The river Arsani he crossed. Seduri of the country of the Armenians heard, and to the strength of his numerous hosts he trusted, and to make conflict and battle against me he came. With him I fought, a destruction of him I made. With the flower of his youth his broad fields I filled. In my 28th year, when at the city of Kala I was stopping, news had been brought that men of the Patinians, Lubarni their lord had slain, and Suri, who was not heir to the throne, to the kingdom had raised. Dayyan-Ashur, the Tartan, the commander of the wide-spreading army, at the head of my host and my camp, I urged, I sent. The Euphrates in its flood he crossed. In the city of Kinalua, his royal city, a slaughter he made. As for Suri, the usurper, exceeding fear of Ashur my lord overwhelmed him, and the death of his destiny he went. The men of the country of the Patinians from before the sight of my mighty weapons fled, and the children of Suri, together with the soldiers, the rebels whom they had taken, they delivered to me. Those soldiers on stakes I fixed. Sacitor of the country of Ussa my feet took. To the kingdom over them I placed him. Silver, gold, lead, bronze, iron, and the horns of wild bulls, to a countless number I received. An image of my majesty of great size I made. In the city of Kinalua, his royal city, in the temple of his gods, I set it up. In my 29th year, my army and camp I urged, I sent. To the country of Sirki I ascended. Their cities I threw down, dug up, burned with fire. Their country like a thunderstorm I swept. Exceeding fear over them I cast. In my 30th year, when in the city of Kala I was stopping, Dayyan-Ashur, the Tartan, the commander of the wide-spreading army, at the head of my army, I urged, I sent. The river Sav he crossed. To the midst of the city of Kupuska he approached. The tribute of Datana, of the city of the Kupuskians, I received. From the midst of the cities of the Kupuskians, I departed. To the midst of the cities of Magubi, of the country of the Madakarians, he approached. The tribute I received. From the midst of the cities of the country of the Madakirians, he departed. To the midst of the cities of Udaki, of the country of the Manians, he approached. Udaki, of the country of the Manians, from before the sight of my mighty weapons fled, and the city of Sirta, his royal city, he abandoned. To save his life, he ascended the mountains. After him I pursued his oxen, his sheep, his spoil to a countless amount. I brought back his cities. I threw down, dug up, and burned with fire. From the country of the Manians he departed. To the cities of Sulusunu, of the country of Karu he approached. the city of Mysuru, his royal city, together with the cities which depended on it, he captured. To Sulusunu, together with his sons, mercy I granted. To his country I restored him. A payment and tribute of horses I imposed. My yoke upon him I placed. To the city of Surdira he approached. The tribute of Artairi, of the city of the Surdirians, I received. To the country of Parsua I went down. The tribute of the kings of the country of Parsua I received. As for the rest of the country of Parsua, which did not reverence Ashur, its cities I captured. Their spoils, their plunder to Assyria I brought. In my 31st year, the second time, the cyclical feast of Ashur and Rimmon I had inaugurated. At the time, while I was stopping in the city of Kala, Dayyan-Ashur, the Tartan, the commander of my wide-spreading army, at the head of my army and my camp, I urged, I sent. To the cities of Dada, of the country of Kupuska he approached. The tribute I received. To the city of Saparia, a stronghold of the country of Musatsira, I went. The city of Saparia, together with 46 cities of the city of the Musatsirians, I captured. Up to the borders of the country of the Armenians I went. 50 of their cities I threw down, dug up, and burned with fire. To the country of Gusani I went down. The tribute of Upu, of the country of the Gusanians, of the country of the Manians, of the country of the Beririans, of the country of the Karanians, of the country of the Sasganians, of the country of the Andians, and of the country of the Karkahanians. Oxen, sheep, and horses trained to the yoke I received. To the cities of the country of I went down, the city of Peria, and the city of Sitivaria, its strongholds, together with 22nd cities, which depended upon it, I threw down, dug up, and burned with fire. Exceeding fear over them I cast. To the cities of the Parthians he went. The cities of Bustu, Salakamanu, and Sinikamanu, 45 towns, together with 23 cities which depended upon them, I captured. Their fighting men I slew. Their spoil I carried off. To the country of Simri I went down. Exceeding fear of Ashur and Merodach overwhelmed them. Their cities they abandoned. To inaccessible mountains they ascended. 250 of their cities I threw down, dug up, and burned with fire into the low ground of Simisi at the head of the country of Kalman. I went down.